All right, here's Tuberville, done with this war. Let's get to Derrick Anderson, running for Congress in Virginia, District 7. This primary will be settled. Early voting started, I don't know, in like December or something. This primary will be settled Tuesday, June 18th. Don't forget, our live primary coverage will be Tuesday night starting at 6 p.m. Myself, Mike Watson, Chris Saxman, they've been with me forever. They're going to be with me again on June 18th. Now, joining me now, Derrick Anderson. He's running against Cam Hamilton. Open seat. Spanberger holds it. Abigail Spanberger, she's running for governor. She'll win that primary easily when it comes up in 25. So, Derrick, let's get to Ukraine. Are you done funding this war, yes or no?
John, the problem right now we're having with President Biden over and over again is, one, we're sending the wrong type of equipment, right? In the very beginning of this war, we were sending the switchblades at the 60 millimeter level, which essentially are anti-personnel, right? Those take out people, not tanks, and artillery pieces. We were sending them howitzers, which they can't repair. They don't have the ammunition for them. We're looking over at our allies over in Europe right now, France and Germany, and they're not coming to the table with a checkbook. Biden keeps giving money, usually about 1 year after Ukraine has requested it, and then ties Ukraine's hands in their ability to actually use the equipment, which makes it useless and wasteful. And again, I was a Green Beret. I did deployments overseas. I've seen these proxy wars unfold, especially in Syria when I was in Lebanon. We need to be focusing on how to end this war. And looking at what an end state looks like. Right now, Zelensky has offered Biden to attend, I believe, a peace conference. I know this is fairly new news, and Biden is instead going to fundraising events. So we see how much the Biden administration wants this to actually end. It doesn't look like he wants to end this war. Again, we want Putin to lose. We absolutely do, because a win for Ukraine is a win for the U.S. and the entire world. But at the end state, we need to put the interests of Americans first. And secure our border and make sure that we're not funding wars that go on in perpetuity.
Are you done with funding this war if you get to Congress?
I mean, we got to start cutting it down, John. I mean, we see how much money we're sending over and over again. Right now, I saw a chart recently about yesterday that showed where we were at 2 years ago along the eastern side of the border of Ukraine versus where Russia was at. There hasn't been much movement one way or another. I mean, literally, it's a red stripe along the eastern side of Ukraine. So, again, we got to start taking a hard look at how we can get an end state to this, whether it's a negotiated treaty or what have you. But we can't continue to just fund endless wars in perpetuity.
Derrick, let's get to the Russian nuclear sub 60 miles off the coast of Florida, now in Cuba, also warships. What is your take on that, sir?
If this isn't showing Biden's weak national security and weak policies throughout the world, I don't know what is. I know that I saw a pretty interesting meme the other day that showed a Floridian resident with a pistol pointed at the submarine, which I found kind of humorous, but pretty scary, right? Russia's emboldened right now. Russia's emboldened to do whatever they want because of Biden's weak national security and foreign policy. Under President Trump 4 years ago, I mean, I remind everybody, John, your listeners and viewers, under President Trump, we had a secure border. We had an economy that was booming. President Trump was putting our adversaries in their place, whether it be Iran, whether it be Russia, whether it be any of these bad actors. Since Biden's taken over, we've seen our adversaries overseas be emboldened, whether that be with this Russian submarine off the coast of Florida, off the East Coast, whether it's how we handled the withdrawal in Afghanistan, which is why I'm in this race, John. I lost 5 of my guys in Afghanistan. I was pretty disgusted to see the just complete lack of responsibility, lack of accountability on behalf of the Biden administration, especially when he was doing those Dover ceremonies and while those family members were sitting off to the side. President Biden was taking a peek at his watch every couple of minutes to see when he needed to leave. So we see how the Biden administration's handled Iran by giving millions upon millions of dollars back to Iran and making these trades for hostages. But again, our national security interests are at risk. I will tell you the border absolutely has to be a top priority. We've just seen, I know we talked about it briefly in the past, John, but we saw at Marine Corps Base Quantico, right in the 7th Congressional District, 2 illegal immigrants, Jordanian nationals, that were posing as Amazon drivers trying to breach the front gate of Marine Corps Base Quantico. So we not only have national security interests, whether it be China, Russia, Iran, but we have it here in the southern border that's now here in the Commonwealth.
Derrick, I got a minute, exactly a minute. Derrick Anderson with us, running for U.S. Congress primary June 18th, Tuesday, Virginia, District 7. Your opponent, Cameron Hamilton, this is a pretty close race. Well, he's got the backing of Rand Paul. Why should people vote for you and not Cameron Hamilton? 1 minute.
Look, John, I'm the homegrown guy. I'm the guy that spent the first 20 years of my life here before joining the Army and becoming a Green Beret. And doing 6 deployments overseas, including Iraq and Afghanistan. We've got a big tent of support, anywhere from the Speaker of the House through House leadership to people like Ronnie Jackson, President Trump's doctor in the White House, Mike Waltz, Derrick Van Orn. We've got local support from east to west, the sheriffs in Stafford County all the way to Greene County. We continue to work harder than any other candidate in this race, raising money and beating feet on the ground. So we're going to put the work in to win on June 18th, be an ally to President Trump and reverse Biden's failed policies.
People want to follow you on social media. Where do they go? 8 seconds.
They can go to Derrick for VA on Twitter, John, or they can go to Derrick Anderson for VA on